Never heard of a killer. I drop bombs like Hiroshima.
Somebody said, look at LeakYou video. What the fuck is LeakYou? Is it like a site? What's LeakYou? LeakYou. Is it a YouTube channel? Oh, shit. Oh, all right, bet. Here we go.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
One, two, three, four.
Let me see one of y'all lighter, fam. I might trick on her and leave her. You harass her and beat her. Porn star when I'm on edits. I'm a pimp on tequila. Ooh wee, she a skeeter. Ooh wee, she a eater. 50 in this ARP, don't give me no Desert Eagle. I'm creepy. Why everybody sleeps and I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Reposado drinking. Loose leaf folded. Boy, you in the way. Put up that switch, your ass told it. Hey, drop the low, told him pull up. No, I ain't ducking no wreck. This shit ain't just about no money to me. This shit about respect. Say I always talk about a bed. Saying smoke and say less. Without that makeup, you ain't shit, bitch. You look like a T-Rex. I pull up new TRX. Popping shit is supreme. And all I smoke is fatality. Out of perp, sipping green. My little shit thick as peanut butter. She the shit and she mean. She want me take her to a movie. Took that bitch till she scream. Don't get turned to a meme. Chopper bullets for trolls. He look like Michael Jackson now. Heard he got shot in the nose. Brand new AR, it fold. Money, cars, and hoes. My dick was little at first, but when she licked it, it grows. Shot was fired, you froze. Shot was fired, you ran. Boy, you the moissanite king. Go take that shit off your hand. Shot was fired, you froze. Shot was fired, you ran. Boy, you the moissanite king. Go take that shit off your hand. I'm creepy. Why everybody sleeps and I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Reposado drinking. Loose leaf folded. Boy, you in the way. Put up that switch, your ass told it. Boy, get out the street, you ain't on shit. Posted my location cause he said he gon' rob me. No time for arguing. You better than Aubrey. Supposed to squash that shit with bag. Obviously he was flogging. Fuck your baby mama raw and told her send me to Mars. I did not need a chorus. Do not need a feature. Tried to bring Memphis together. You can't join them, then beat them. You can't beat them, then sneak them. You can't sneak them, delete them. And if my bitch catch me cheating, I'ma trick on her and eat her.
Hello? Hey, look, check this out. I just left the bank. I got about 230 on me. The car that followed me all the way to the house. Look, when I hit the block, I need you and brother get on 19. Tear that motherfucker up. You ready? All right, here I come. Let's go. Hey. I'm creepy. Why everybody sleeps and I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Reposado drinking. Loose leaf folded. Boy, you in the way. Put up that switch, your ass told it. Boy, get out the street. You ain't on shit.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Ooh, I just feel disgusted today. I really do. I feel just so disgusted. Overall. Period. so disgusted at just a lot of you all so-called Americans' behavior over the last 24 hours. And something, just I was sitting here thinking about it today, and I kind of said to myself, like, man, on a serious note, I think the divide is so much bigger than a lot of us want to acknowledge. The divide being the division that we're seeing happening here in America, all right? That feeling of civil war based on lines of race. Man, I feel that today. Hard body. Hard body. I'm so disappointed. Let me start with this. I'm so disappointed in a lot of you all so-called patriot Americans with your little bullshit ass halftime show, TPUSA. You know, didn't get no viewership, hardly. I thought the performance that Bad Bunny gave last night at the Super Bowl show was great. People, I don't know why you all are so upset that he spoke in Spanish. If there's any time in America when this was needed, it was now. You got ice breathing down people's necks. And listen, some of y'all may not even like what I'm saying. And I don't, what is it? IDGAF? I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. Some of y'all, even content creators, right, that I've been subscribed to and I've watched for years, even y'all's true feelings are coming out, right? Some of you all are black. You, Loza Alexander, black as fuck. And your president, Donald J. Trump, is out there posting racist memes of the Obamas as apes, and you still will come up here and declare your love for MAGA. And get the fuck out of just get the fuck out of here. Unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. It's probably like 4 or 5 content creators, right? Now, and this ain't about you, Loza, right? I've seen your love for Donald J. Trump and MAGA before. But damn, dude. He's posting pictures of black folks as apes, and that doesn't cross a line to you, right? Donald Trump, these things about the Epstein files and Donald Trump is no secret. This shit has been around even before his first term in office. Again, I've been reporting the story of Katie Johnson for 10 years now, since before his first term in office. But I would have thought the posting black folks as apes would have been a line that you wouldn't allow, that you wouldn't cross. But here you all, you're black folks supporting that nonsense, right? Listen, do you, right? Do you? I thought the Bad Bunny, and listen, ICE is breathing down folks' necks, chasing after people, killing people. What's patriotic about that? This whole so-called melting pot in America, man. Many of you all are fucking so caught up in your own shit. You all have forgot how to be human beings. Send them back to where they're from. What the hell, man? We got our president, our so-called elected leadership saying this type of nonsense, man. It's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I am so glad I was born the person that I am. It's literally impossible. For me, my truth, being a woman of mixed race, I see the bad in both sides, in the good in both sides. And let me say this: you Latinas that voted for Donald Trump, are you still feeling like you did this second time around? I mean, this dude got a whole riot started at the Capitol. He didn't want to leave office the first time. What do you think he's going to do after this term is up? He can't serve another term. What do you think he's going to do? Donald Trump is drunk on power. What kind of president would make a post like that? That racist post he made, he's not even sorry for it. He ain't even sorry for it. He's been asked many times, is he sorry for it? No, he's not sorry for it. I thought that the performance by Bad Bunny came at a perfect time. Especially, you've got ice breathing down people's necks, running up to people's front doors, lying to people, just straight up lying, just to get in there and get somebody arrested. Just unlock the door. Just unlock the door. Let me get in there. Some of you all, a lot of you all, are so divided. You all have forgot how to be human beings. Why would you tell a lot of the comments? Let me speak about Bad Bunny a little bit. A lot of the comments I've seen overnight as the Super Bowl performance was, coming, right? Right before the Super Bowl performance. There was a lot of you all I seen in live stream comments. Bad Bunny, go back to Mexico. Why would the NFL have someone that's not a U.S. citizen play for the American NFL at the halftime show? How dumb are you motherfuckers? He is from Puerto Rico. He is not from Mexico. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. He is a United States citizen. The ignorance is astounding. Did you all not go to school? Did you all not take geography class? I remember Puerto Rico being one of the U.S.-led territories, okay? Oh, I know what it is, what it truly is. You got a whole organization, right? Turning Point USA. Listen, fuck them, fuck Erika Kirk, fuck Charlie Kirk, fuck everything about that corrupted, crooked, racist-ass organization, all right? You got them so up in their feelings about a Hispanic man getting the lead spot in the Super Bowl halftime show. They went out of their way and put together this last-minute, bumbled performance with some listen, one of the people you all in the lineup is in the Epstein files, talked about in the Epstein files. No question. I'm not even going to say dude's name. No question, dude has had issues with underage children, all right? You got Kid Rock, by the way, who has a child that's fucking half black, all right? He was piping down a black lady for many years ago. But, let Kid Rock ain't gonna just outright say it, but you can't tell me the man ain't racist. I don't care that he has a half black child. There's a whole lot of racist men that had children with black women. There's a whole lot of, pussy is pussy, y'all. All right. It is. And there's a whole lot of white men that had children with black women. We even have a president in our past, Jefferson, right? Who had children with one of his slaves, whose lineage still lives on to this day. But you got Kid Rock, who has a half black child that he's raised, by the way. But that doesn't mean, that's the thing, that doesn't mean that he is not racist. You can absolutely be racist and still put your penis into some, dark meat, so to speak. Kid Rock's always there, right, to shoot his guns at the LGBT community, in the form of, popping the beer with his rifle and his, Second Amendment and all that. He's always, there to back Trump. The fact that right before the Super Bowl, you would have Donald Trump posting this racist meme. And then again, you got Erika Kirk and TPUSA. I call them Toilet Paper USA. All right. Over there creating this whole what is it? What do they call it? They called it an all American patriotic halftime show. It wasn't nothing American about it to me. It came off as the racist patriotic halftime show. Listen, they've traded in their white sheets for red MAGA hats. That's what I'm seeing. A lot of you racist people have traded in your white bed sheets because you can't walk down the streets no more in your white bed sheets with your little, circles and your eyes cut out. Because you might get stolen out there, right? Somebody might steal on you, might knock your ass out. Remember when they used to go to little towns in East Texas and do little marches in downtown areas and shit like that? Paris, Texas, Clarksville, Texas. Oh, I remember that shit. I remember them holding rallies, getting permits to hold rallies. Controversial, absolutely. But did the city stop them? No. Didn't even stop them. To me, it's like, TP toilet paper USA over there. I could wipe my ass with the motherfuckers over there. TP Toilet Paper USA and their so-called patriotic halftime show was an absolute epic fail. Absolute failure. By the time they even ended the live stream of this whole so-called halftime show, like they had to cut 7 or 8 minutes of it. They had like 5,000 views, like 600 and something thousand likes. That shit don't look right. I mean, is TP Toilet Paper USA, are they buying likes on YouTube? Because that shit was unnatural. I know it takes a minute for the numbers to settle and all that. I get that. I absolutely get that. Ooh-wee. I mean, I've watched people, go live. I'll take Candace over there because Candace has been on Erika Kirk and Toilet Paper USA's ass for the last couple of weeks, leaking audios and all kinds of stuff. Candace is going to, like I said before, y'all, somebody needs to take her laptop. Somebody's going to end up trying Candace, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if Toilet Paper USA doesn't try to send her a cease and desist. And I don't think Candace will even give a fuck about that. But my concern again, and I've said this before, is girl safety, right? And Candace even has some troublesome views from my perspective, right? But she is absolutely turned against Turning Point USA. And listen, Candace used to work for Toilet Paper USA. She used to work for that organization. So she has a bit of some inside knowledge. So absolutely, I've been watching, paying attention. Listen, my heart's heavy, man. I'm feeling a lot of weight today. I'm feeling some weight. I don't like this version of America, all this fucking racism going on. Yeah, sure. Okay. Sure. And Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk, right? They're right as rain, aren't they? Toilet Paper USA, they're right as rain, aren't they? They're right as rain. Fuck you. I don't have a call-in number, guys. Maybe I should establish one. All I have is a LinkedIn number, a link. All right, StreamYard. But man, what is happening? a lot of y'all white folks, okay, and a lot of you Uncle Toms that are supporting the what is it? The new, not the new orange is the new black, but more like the new red is the black, or is the white sheet. All right. The red hat is the new white sheet. The red hat is the new white sheet. That is the new version in 2026. They've traded in their white sheets for red hats. They feel emboldened. I like that saying, Costco hot dog. I love that saying. I'm feeling leaky. And could say that again. And listen, they are already radicalizing themselves. Okay, we got them literally. They said we are not going to participate in this great American sport. They feel so hurt and in their feelings about a Hispanic man doing the halftime show and singing in his native language, Spanish, Espanol. He is from Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory. He is a United States citizen. We have a lot of United States citizens that speak Spanish. Think about God, y'all. God. Then they go and they do this bumbling ass epic fail of a show. Epic fail. Again, didn't get the view count, not even close to a even percentage of the view count that the actual halftime show got. It was trash. I didn't even watch it. I've seen a clip or two here or there. But listen, I don't listen to Kid Rock. Fuck Kid Rock. Was it, Dolly? I didn't know that. Huh, interesting. They couldn't even pull it off live, right? Couldn't even pull it off live. But they was going to make sure to try to cut in to the NFL and to all the other streams and roll that as, at the same time as Bad Bunny and his performance. And listen, some people are acting like they don't even know who Bad Bunny is. How? Baby, not paid audience members. So overall, it's an absolute monetary loss on Toilet Paper USA's part, right? All this money they would have had to have paid the performers for the stage, the audience members. You're having to pay people. Did anyone else notice how horribly put together that whole Toilet Paper USA halftime show was? Now, if you start hearing people say Toilet Paper USA, you're going to know that you heard it here first. So give me my dues, folks. I've never heard anyone call them Toilet Paper USA. That's what I am declaring them as. I love to give a nickname, okay? But the fact that they're having to pay their people to come and listen to that, again, I didn't even hear about it until like 2 days before. Yeah, like 2 days ago, before the Bad Bunny halftime show. I didn't even hear about it. Literally. So there was bad marketing on their part. They're paying. They're paying people to have to attend in the audience. What a great comment. How many people go to the opera and don't understand a word that they say and still enjoy it? And let me say this. How many people have watched halftime shows where it's in all English and they speak Spanish. I mean, have you all forgot that we have United States citizens that actually speak Spanish? I mean, golly, some of you all sound so stupid when you say speak English. Look, listen, America did not create the English language. That came from across the pond and from England. America's not, a language is not, indigenous language is not even English. So to hear y'all even talking about, him doing the show in Spanish is so dumb to me. Is our native language English? Yeah, it became that. But the real native language, listen, you go to some countries, they have like 100, 200 dialects. The Philippines, they got 100, 150 different dialects. All Spanish is not the same Spanish, right? There's a difference between Spanish speakers in Spain versus Spanish speakers in Mexico. There's a whole difference. It's a different dialect. And for you all to be so close-minded based on language, but that's just a classic racist ass comment that people make. I've seen it. So many of y'all comment after comment after comment after comment after comment. And y'all sitting there, and then here comes old Donald Trump, Mr. Orange. He came out, and I'm gonna hate. That Bad Bunny show was horrible. No, it wasn't. It was great. He did a great job. It was horrible. He's actually himself said publicly to Congress members, specifically, said they need to go back to their country. And they were born here in the United States. That's how dumb he is. Donald Trump will tweet or Truth Social anything and doesn't even check it first. Number one. But how interesting that Toilet Paper USA had to pay people to be audience members of that so-called patriotic show. Listen, did you all really pay attention to when Erika Kirk, listen, fuck her weird grieving, all right? Fuck her and her weird videos and she is a fucking professional grifter, okay? Erika Kirk is fucking a professional grifter at this point. If you all don't think that the funeral service, that whole funeral appearance that she did when her husband Charlie Kirk was assassinated, if you don't think that shit wasn't staged, I'm talking down to the music, to the second of when the musical notes were dropping, she was moving in certain rhythms. I swear, I'm not kidding here. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. Let me show you. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. She's weird. No, that bitch is weird, okay? She's weird. I don't have to like Erika Kirk. I don't have to like her weird grieving, okay? Who posts their husband's dead body. Yeah, record me. Record me while I go over here and look at my husband dead in his casket for the first time. And we all know it was either eyeliner, maybe it's Maybelline JD Vance, or his weirdo wife. I mean, Donald Trump is so concerned about gay people, and he's got a vice president that's definitely questionable in that area, okay? Mr. Right, Republican led, I'm all right. This is what the hard right looks like, people. This is what the hard right looks like. Yeah, it gets real racist. But you all remember this? Down to the fucking musical note. She came out to her husband was just assassinated. Footage all over Twitter. Some people are celebrating this shit. Some people are obviously not celebrating this shit. Some people are calling a middle line down the middle saying, hey, I don't support Charlie Kirk, but I don't support him being murdered either. You know, you had all different directions of that type of stuff right after Charlie Kirk was killed, right? Some people said he deserved it. Yeah, some people say Charlie Kirk deserved it. And then you got another side that's he don't deserve that. He was now a martyr, right? They say he's a martyr. On one side, they say he deserved it on the other, and everything in between. But it sure doesn't help when your wife is out here, posting your dead ass body up. I mean, everything was televised about this. It was crazy to me. And then his funeral. Let me show you the absolute pompous this event was so staged, man. Look at this. It's only her coming out, right?
Please give a warm welcome.
Music
to
stops.
Mrs. Erika Kirk.
Got her welcome. Here she comes. Here she comes. Oh, look, we got fireworks. Fireworks. Oh, I can't believe you all are here. Oh my God. Like she didn't know the crowd was there already, right? But this is what's sick for me right here. And I'll tell you what, watch this. Watch her nod on musical cue. Bitch. She just raised her head on the musical cue. Did y'all see that? Man, come the fuck on, man. You can't look. That is the most watched portion of this video because everybody's thinking the same thing I am, and they may not be saying it or they may be saying it. Period. This lady raised her head on musical cue. This is so fucking staged. Wow. Okay. Let everybody see me pray. Because, see, they take Christianity and religion and mix it up into their politics. Let them tell it. They're the only way to get to Jesus. Their way is the only way to get to heaven. And where's Charlie Kirk's mom and pa, sisters, brothers? I haven't seen anything about them at all. Don't know at all what's going on there. Right? But Candace O's been in that ass. She's been in that ass. Absolutely. So disappointed in my country, man. The country that I was born in and that I grew up in. That wasn't a stunning or surreal entrance to me. That was an absolute staged entrance. Someone who's figured out how to market. I mean, this is a lady who instead of even, they wanted to pre-record their little so-called Toilet Paper USA wanted to pre-record their their so-called patriotic halftime show, right? Why didn't they pre-record that weird-ass address to the nation that she did 2 days after Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck? Who the fuck, whose husband or wife goes live in front of the nation where it's literally streamed on Fox News? Fox News picked this up and broadcasted her live stream on all platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. She was live across all platforms that night. Fox News picked it up so they could get it to an even bigger audience. What they fail to realize is really social media is where it's at these days, right? We don't even really care about cable news anymore. I haven't had cable in over a decade. The whole thing is just so weird to me. They have taken, again, religion, ingratiated in politics. And I look at these crowds, and I think to myself, and I'm not kidding you, I look at these crowds, and I think to myself, man, there's a division happening. I hardly see any black faces. Donald Trump is pretty much guaranteed hatred from brown and black folks with his latest actions. And I look at these crowd of people, that Toilet Paper USA has, that they got for his funeral, and I see a really big division. Even before that, there's a real big, serious division that is happening in America. Again, they've taken and traded in their white sheets for them red MAGA hats. Maybe it's Maybelline. Shout out to you, Stan Durko. I'm sorry about your wife passing away. My condolences. And listen, my condolences to Erika Kirk about losing her husband. There's no happiness or anything like that comes to me. I don't feel that way. I think it's horrible that, she lost her husband and her kid's father, and that man was murdered like that. But I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that I like Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk. I didn't like him. I didn't like his politics. And listen, this is the straight up truth, how it is. All right. If you continue to stand behind Donald J. Trump, especially after what's been happening the last month or two, we got triple bombs on this man. Everything from the whole Epstein Island dumps. I don't know how that man thought these Epstein file dumps wasn't going to hurt him. Now, I really think that he's going to try to come to the table and do some UFO disclosure as a way and means to get attention off him and those Epstein files. Because now there's all this talk from Laura Trump, his daughter-in-law, of Donald Trump potentially making a statement in the future about how we're not alone, blah, 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 blah. Listen, those of us who've been paying attention, we know that. And Donald Trump isn't going to be telling us anything that we don't already know. Will it become more official? Yeah, sure. But it already is. We've had people testifying in front of Congress twice now. I don't need Donald Trump to come out here and do any kind of statement to tell me that we're not alone in this universe. Frankly. I think it's horrible how this man got killed. I think it's horrible that he left 2 children in the world and those children don't have their father. It's heartbreaking. I think it's horrible that that woman lost her husband. But listen, I'm not going to sit up here and act like if you don't throw something in the public domain that we can't talk about it. The bitch grieves in a weird way, period. Period. It's strange and it's weird. And I have every right to say that. But I don't mean I agree with the man getting shot like that at no debate, okay? Let's be clear about that. And I don't question Erika Kirk's motivation or her tenacity. I absolutely, when she said in her live address, the fact that I'm even saying Erika Kirk in the same sentence as a live address to the nation's wild as fuck, okay? But the fact that during her live address, she said that something about the world, what's up, Big Rose? The world would hear her weeping, her like weeping and gnashing of teeth. You know, it's going to be, the whole world's going to hear her wailing call, that thing. Listen, there's no question that when she said that, I felt that, but in a whole different way than other people might have felt that. I think the death of her husband has absolutely given her a lot more strength in a weird way, if that makes sense. Crazy ass tenacity. I think she was very tenacious before, but I think that she's going to absolutely take Toilet Paper USA, aka Turning Point USA. I mean, Toilet Paper USA, wipe my ass with that bullshit ass, corrupt ass organization. She's going to take that organization and drive it into the stratosphere. I truly believe that. She's got the entire crooked ass Trump administration behind her and a lot of Americans behind her as well. And it doesn't hurt when your husband's assassinated live, that doesn't hurt her cause either. But sympathy only goes for so long. Mourning and sympathy for the murder of your husband, like that's, people are only going to feel that for so long. But when I tell you that Toilet Paper USA is an absolute magnet for white supremacists, racists, everything, the way they move, let me be clear, the way that organization moves, their actions. What do you want? Do you want a different America or something? I think they would say, yeah, they do. Well, go buy an island and create create your paradise. But that's not what they want. They want it right here. And a lot of these people had the ability to do what they really wanted. A lot of us folk with brown skin, and dark hair, and dark eyes, we won't be doing the same things that we're doing when they take control. Because they're going to try everything in their power to oppress us, to hurt us, to kick our feet out from up under our bodies, and take us off our square. Like I said, the red MAGA hat is the new white sheet. I wonder how many police organizations Toilet Paper USA has been reaching out to develop some sort of relationship with. Oh, we're Toilet Paper USA. We'll donate to your cause. We'll donate to this police union and that police union and this police union. So you make us safe. See, that's the thing. A lot of racists will use positions of power. They'll use positions of power to further their racist causes and beliefs. When I tell you, even an FBI report was done. Department of Justice issued a report regarding racism in the police, in the career of policing. When I tell you they're organized with it. A lot of the members of the KKK and all that, man, listen, a lot of them are leaders in police organizations, even now to this day. I'm talking every large police organization in this country. I don't support a president that would post any black woman or black man as fucking apes. Okay? I don't give a fuck. I don't support that shit. I draw an absolute line in the sand. And it trips me out that you other brown and dark-skinned folks aren't drawing lines in the sand. It's like you don't have listen, man, Donald Trump don't give a fuck about you. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about you. Loza, you hearing me? He doesn't care about you. He doesn't give a fuck about you. You done spent all your time doing all these fucking songs, free Trump and all this type of shit. Right? He doesn't give a fuck about you. I know that you tried to get him to recognize the music that you was dropping, right? Oh, I've been paying attention. But you ain't got no recognition from Donald Trump for that shit. Donald Trump would arrest your family members tomorrow. If he even thinks they're not legally in the United States. And the question that they're at, are you legal? Well, listen, nobody's walking around with their birth certificates, okay? In their back pockets. I know I ain't. There is absolute clear division happening. And I cannot support that. I got my so-called president, this man who says that, my so-called president, right? And that's really, when I say that feels really weird because after Trump got people killed when he was leaving office the first time, I don't know why people would have voted him in this second time, but you all did, right? A lot of you all did. And I'll never understand that. I'll never understand that. And these people can have all the opinions in the world about what you're doing. But God forbid you come out here and you give an opinion on what you see is happening and how you feel. Right? I mean, again, all these comments last night that I was seeing, man, go back to Mexico, Bad Bunny, and all this craziness. He's not even from Mexico. Yeah, listen, I'm not surprised. Shout out to you, Dolly. Listen, shout out to the LeakYou community. Now, we've got Toilet Paper USA, right? And all these other people that they come out and they say whatever they want, right? But listen, they cut my stream, though, on YouTube, right? Because they can't handle my words. They can't handle my words, which is why I don't particularly give a fuck about YouTube. Fuck YouTube. I started moving and transitioning from YouTube a long time ago because of that very thing. I'm so sick and tired of these, companies just literally controlling our words. God forbid we come out and have an opinion. God forbid we come out and have an opinion. And there's nothing that I've said that's been wrong. And I damn sure haven't violated anybody's, I haven't bullied anyone. I definitely haven't harassed or cyberbullied anyone. But fuck Toilet Paper USA. They definitely don't want people being able to have an opposite opinion. There's nothing that I've said in that live stream that should be deemed as violating any policy. But YouTube is so full of shit with their little policies, right? And I've had, even in the past, I've had like, don't act like Donald Trump doesn't have like a social media arm and these MAGA supporters that go out and not only flag videos that go against what they say or what they're out, deeming as fact and all of that. They have like these armies that will come in and like comment crazily. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. When he was running the first time back in 2016, man, I was getting inundated with MAGA support comments. It was insane. Every single live stream, to the point that I had to go put keywords in my studio to block like the word MAGA, for example, right? It's crazy. That part, Emmanuel. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. There's absolutely nothing that I've said that should be considered as violating any policy, unless you're going to tell me that I don't have the right to speak my opinion. So now we got Google/YouTube, right? Supporting this bullshit. Listen, as I was saying before, anybody that is still supporting Donald Trump, especially any brown or black folk that are supporting Donald Trump after his racist meme, I don't know what's wrong with you. I really don't know what's wrong with you. Something's got to be wrong with you. That's like, somebody pissing on me and then telling me it's raining. How am I supposed to be okay with that? How am I supposed to be okay with that? How am I supposed to be okay with the fact that you've got some people that can come out here and say whatever they want? And you got little old me. I come out here and express an opinion and I get fucking pulled down. God forbid you express a different opinion. But I believe we're back. So what happens is they killed the stream, right? And then they brought it back, because what they do is they get these little flags, and then these moderators will go in and listen. Well, what's going on in this live stream? It was just flagged down. Well, I don't hear anything crazy. They're looking at the timestamps being flagged. And nothing I'm hearing is, actually against any policy. And that's why the stream came back. It's unbelievable to me. again, I feel so disappointed. Just overall, I feel just ick. I feel an ick in my spirit. You know, we are, even across the world, America used to be looked at as one of the most, one of the strongest countries in the world. And there's so much like shame that we get now from even other countries. They think to themselves, I promise they think to themselves, how could all of those people turn around and put that man back in office a second time? What do you all think Trump's going to do when his time is over after this next time? If Trump had it his way, he would continue his presidency and pass it on to one of his kids when he left, like a dictatorship. Dead ass. Now, let me get on into this because I've already been here for 56 minutes. The Epstein files. Some of you all have asked me, how can I read some of these Epstein files? JMail.world. JMail.world. You can go to the DOJ and look at the Epstein files that are dropped directly on the DOJ site. They're all in PDFs, which, listen, why is that insane? Let me tell you something about PDFs. A PDF file, when you open it up, you're looking at an image. It's very difficult to crawl an image for text, okay? I truly believe the Department of Justice, from a technical perspective, released the files in the most difficult, challenging way possible, okay? All in PDFs. And luckily, we have some techies like myself who have taken these Epstein files, crawled them with certain tools, exported out the information within the images into text so that they're searchable, okay? If that makes any sense to you non-techies. And there's a couple of different hubs, so to speak, where you can actually go and view these in a much more pleasant way. And one of those methods is JMail.world. What is JMail.world? Well, JMail.world has been publishing the data that the Department of Justice has dropped, the Epstein file dumps, and putting it in a beautiful format that we can all appreciate, okay? Something that probably 99% of us are pretty used to. Most of us have a Gmail account. And if you have a Gmail account, you are very familiar with the format. All right? You're very familiar with the format. So the beautiful thing here is we've got the Epstein, the emails, all right? We got photos. Oh, yeah, it's more than just emails. We got photos, people. Yeah, thousands and thousands of photos. Photo after photo. Prince Andrew is in this dump here. Look at Epstein. I mean, photo after photo. Ghislaine Maxwell, other celebrities, politicians. But it isn't just emails and photos. See, you got to make sure that you hit the ticker. All right. We got J Drive, where we can look at all of these beautiful documents. We can download them. We can actually view them. All right. And this includes the newest ones, all right, that have also been dumped. They've got filters here for the least redacted, most redacted. You can sort by victim category, affiliate category, third party, contact location, date category. But listen, it ain't just photos. We got mail, photos, drive, J flights. We're looking at Epstein's flight history with a freaking map so we could actually visibly see his little trips. He took over 4,292 flights, over 10,000 hours of flight time. We've got JVR. This is a tour of Epstein's property. So you can go to the JVR section and actually view the property in images. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We also have Amazon. These were orders that Epstein made from Amazon that was extracted from the receipts that were sent to his email. Yeah, that's how deep it gets. We're literally doing things like tracking his Amazon purchases and et cetera, et cetera. Look, he bought a pelvic clock device for chronic hip and lower back pain relief. That's weird. His Amazon purchases is an interesting thing. Listen, there to me, you all, and I'm gonna throw this out here because I don't see a lot of other people saying this. I think that Epstein was also an intelligence asset. You may have heard some information about Epstein potentially getting information on Prince Andrew, who's now had his title stripped, right? He's now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He's had all his titles stripped from his brother, King Charles over there, the second. I believe he's the second, right? And somehow a lot of his information has wound up in the hands of Putin and Russian intelligence. And yeah, that's a big concern. And it's also spoke about in these Epstein files. Again, the Department of Justice did such a horrible job. And I really wish some of y'all wouldn't have spoke out when they dropped their first load and thought they was redacting things. And they only highlighted the words so that you couldn't see it. But if you literally just put your mouse and highlighted the text, you could actually see the redaction. I wish people wouldn't have said anything so they could have kept doing that. But listen, it doesn't matter because there's so much data here. You got one file that'll come out redacted, and then you'll have another file that may be a reply to the email and the reply is not redacted. Because somebody probably didn't put two and two together, or they have different people reviewing the data before it's dumped, etc. So we've been getting names like crazy. Listen, let me give you all a little helpful tip here. When you go to JMail.world, I just showed you can go view his photos. You can get a tour of Epstein Island. You can look at his Amazon purchases, all kinds of stuff, right? Something to pay attention to when you're perusing the emails. Number one, you can absolutely search them. There is a search engine built in. Okay. And pay attention to people under his contacts. Oh, yeah. These are people. Look, we got Deepak Chopra. We got Elon Musk at the top. These are communications between him and Elon Musk. Email after email. I'm at page 2 at this point. Going back to 2009. All the way through 2012. A whole lot of comms or communications, right? We got Jelaine and her communications with Epstein. It's sorted by date if we want it. Right here. Can I have Alice in an address as I'd like to invite them to my party? And what I really love is how they was changing their froms and to names, right? But pay attention. Peter Thiel, Alan Dershowitz. Oh, is that Bill Gates? Wow. So this is communications that involve Bill Gates, founder of a legend in the tech community, right? Steve Bannon. Oh, he's got a lot of shit going on with Steve Bannon. Like, there's 6 pages of this. And listen, this is only what the Department of Justice has dropped so far. There's still more dumps to be done. All right. So pay attention to the people's part, the topics part. And it's not just you hitting the inbox, all right? Let's be really clear about that. Sent items is a very important folder. What is the sent items folder? The sent items folder is a folder structure that takes all the emails that you've actually sent that left your outbox and went out of draft status into sent status. These are actual emails that he sent out. So that can be a very interesting thing. Some things you will see in sent items, you'll never see them in the inbox, especially if it's not an email he's actually replying to. So note that and keep that in mind. If you're not searching for it, or if it's like a message that he just sent out and he wasn't actually replying, it would only be in the sent items folder. We got mentions of Kellyanne Conway. It's no secret to me, just even based on his emails that I've went through, the ones that I know I've went through. I don't think Epstein was as loving of Donald Trump in his last days, even before he went to jail that second time and ended up, allegedly unaliving himself. You can tell that based on the emails that he was even sending, right? Like, they're all jumping ship, for example, talking about the Trump administration during his first term, I should say. I truly believe that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset. I don't know if he worked for United States intelligence, MI5, Russia. This man was a teacher that ended up becoming a uber billionaire and financier, disgraced financier. I believe there was people in the intelligence community paying Epstein for information on people like Prince Andrew, Donald Trump, and others. And listen, I just want to, I had a thought here. Starred email. A starred email in Gmail is a message that, oh wow, look at this. Look at this. Is considered a favorite. For some reason, Jeffrey Epstein favorited these particular messages. So pay special attention to that. There's a reason why you say, oh, this is an email I need to track. Email is very important. But look at the top here. A message from Mark Epstein that says, hey, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Do you think that if Epstein really loved Donald Trump, was all lovey-dovey, that he would have been exchanging these sorts of emails, whatever? So look, he gets an email. Epstein gets an email from Mark Epstein. Mark says, hey, how you doing? A while back, you mentioned that you are pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? What is your boy Donald up to now? Jeff responds, All good. Bannon with me. Steve Bannon. Mark responds, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Ouch. Again, a starred email is an email that Epstein himself favorited. Mark Epstein, pay particular attention to that name. Again, that's a family member of his, and yeah, got a lot. Look, privileged. There's also a folder structure, okay, called attachments. And if you select that, you will get to see any email that Epstein, whether he sent or received, that had an attachment in it. Any email that had an attachment, right? When I tell you that nobody has even had the ability to go through each and every one of these yet, because there's so many files. And there's something very interesting in all of them. I've been finding all sorts of interesting things, right? God, could you imagine? Could you imagine if someone got hold to your private emails? And listen, every vlogger in the world should be looking at these files. And I heard that J-World has been getting like 7-8 million hits an hour. Yeah. 7-8 million hits an hour to the website. Again, JMail.world is how you can view the Epstein files, including the latest dumps. Again, the PDF files are crawled and converted into text and produced, given a Gmail feel, because this is very familiar for a lot of people. They know how to traverse Gmail fairly easily, right? So again, make sure you take note of the sent items, the starred and attachments folder, as well as the people, which is anything, like Elon Musk, just as an example. Anytime Elon Musk is mentioned, it is going to be there, right? But again, you can also search. If I do a search, let's do a search for Trump. It was 5808. There's 5,800 emails just with Trump in it. Okay. Trump. If Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset, right? Is it possible that Putin has other dangerous things on Trump? You remember like the story that we all heard about Trump going to Moscow for the Miss America pageant and having like 5 or 6 hookers or something like that, and them peeing on him or him peeing on them or something like that. He likes his golden showers, apparently. But what about other things? I mean, we definitely recall Trump talking about how much he loved Epstein, right? How he'd known him for umpteen years. He's a great guy and he loves girls on the younger side. Matter of fact, look, Landon Thomas Jr. had communiques with from the New York Times with Jeffrey Epstein. Ooh, ouch. Now, everyone's coming to me thinking I have juicy info on you and Trump because of this. Quote, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Donald Trump said that in an interview. We've all heard the clip. Look what look what Epstein said to that when he was asked about it by Landon Thomas, the reporter. Quote, would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? And there's no doubt in my mind that there are photos that exist of Donald Trump with girls in bikinis in Jeffrey Epstein's kitchen on his island. There's no question in my mind. They're there. They exist. The Department of Justice would never put those out. And then today, Ghislaine Maxwell was pulled before the House. And she invoked her Fifth Amendment. She invoked her Fifth Amendment when she was asked about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Why do you think she invoked her Fifth Amendment? Man, listen, Ghislaine Maxwell knows good and well. She didn't say, Donald Trump didn't do anything. She invoked her Fifth Amendment because she didn't want to incriminate herself, right? But the truth is, we know Ms. Maxwell thinks she's going to get a pardon from Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, if I was in Ghislaine Maxwell's position, I'd be scared to death that my life could be potentially ended based on all of the stuff that has come out. That's someone who could seriously be in some real serious danger if she was to blow the whistle, so to speak. But she's serving a 20-year sentence, and she's still over there invoking her Fifth Amendment instead of throwing Donald Trump up under the fucking bus. We all know. She wants that pardon. And the only one that can get her out of prison is Trump. Do you think he'll do it? If he does do it, I promise you he's going to wait till the last day of his term. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Because if he was to give Ghislaine Maxwell a pardon, that pretty much is that gives off a certain type of look. I mean, Diddy's still sitting in jail right now. He hasn't gotten his pardon yet, right? Would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? And then when you look at the tentacles that Jeffrey Epstein had with people too, the contacts he had with all these uber rich and famous people, it's crazy. It almost seems structured. Again, I firmly believe that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset of some kind. I don't know who he was working for. Mossad, could have been. Mossad is, I've mentioned 2 or 3 different countries. But think about it. To get some dirt on some of the most powerful people in the world, Epstein would have been a perfect target for an intelligence for an intelligence organization. This guy's sitting here with photos of Donald Trump and girls in bikinis in his freaking kitchen. That's how comfortable Trump was with this man. And now, of course, Donald Trump has publicly distanced himself, right? I mean, he now talks really bad about Jeffrey Epstein now. But again, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. These files are juicy. Juicy, juicy, juicy. And if you want a way to traverse these files, you definitely want to go to JMail. It is not pleasant to have to pull up PDF after PDF after PDF on the Department of Justice's site. Again, the way they released these was very challenging technically. And JMail makes it so much easier and more pleasant to sit here for hours upon hours, right? Traversing and looking at this information and at this data and searching this data. Again, we're talking about emails, photos, J Drive, his flights, over 10,000 hours of flight data, JVR, which again is a tour of his home, and J Amazon, which is his purchases that he made on Amazon, which can be very telling. Can be very, very telling. I mean, look at this one here. Look at this one here. Is it, and this is from Jeffrey Epstein to Michael Wolff, is it a coincidence that the Russian that bought the house in Palm Beach and knows all is the same guy that sold a painting last year to MBS? You know, MBS is the ruler of Saudi Arabia, right? The guy that has been accused of killing journalists, Khashoggi, Saudi journalist Khashoggi, the Washington Post journalist, is the same guy that sold a painting last year to MBS for $450 million that was only worth 1.5. So MBS was paying him off. Why? Ideas? Reminder, Trump overruled Congress on Yemen. Starting to smell sweet the way you put it. Listen, these emails are absolutely devastating. I don't know how Trump thought that, you know, these files wasn't going to create like this ravenous downhill slope where the ball just kind of gets bigger as it continues to roll downhill. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're talking about Netflix and relationships they have with people at all these different organizations, man. There's so much telling information in here. Love the emails that have confidential in the subject. Hi, Marty. Hope all is well. Noticed the Guardian story about Michael Wolff's new book. Again, Jeffrey Epstein had a one-on-one relationship with Michael Wolff. We seen that, right? I was looking at the email, which states Donald Trump purchased a Palm Beach property Mr. Epstein had planned to buy behind Mr. Epstein's back, and that Mr. Epstein threatened to expose Trump's shady real estate deals. Do you know anything about this? Does Mr. Epstein have any knowledge of illegal or suspicious dealings by President Trump? Also, we plan on running a story this Friday about the Crime Victims' Rights Act suit and the Jane Doe's proposed remedies. The alleged victims want the U.S. Attorney's Office to rescind the immunity provisions in the NPA and to pursue a prosecution against Mr. Epstein and his co-conspirators. Can you comment on this? Of course, Jeffrey Epstein gets hold to this. Privileged, redacted. But just put two and two together. Palm Beach property, Donald Trump purchased it, right? MBS, shady real estate deals. There's a whole known thing about real estate deals, specifically where really uber rich people selling properties. Like, for example, I'll just give an example. A house. I believe it was Donald Trump. And this may not be the case now as of 2026, but at one point had sold a house for like the highest amount ever in the United States. An insane, crazy amount, something the house wasn't even worth, right? So they may see like say you got a $20 million house, but you sell it for $100 million. You wonder, why would somebody pay $100 million for a house that's only worth $20 million? There's a lot of things that you can do to get money into certain people's pockets, to launder certain amounts of money. There's all sorts of little loopholes, right, that you can do up under shady real estate transactions, like selling a home for 5 times more than what it's actually worth, and someone actually paying you $100 million for a $20 million house, for example. Those are known tactics that the uber rich use. I mean, go look it up, right? Not enough time in this live stream to do it, but Donald Trump's been under investigation in the past for his shady real estate deals, including like getting loans and insurance for the appreciated value of a property. Give me $100 million loan because I say the house is worth $100 million, but it's really only worth $20 million, for example, that sort of thing. We've got entire banks that have been literally shut down because of Donald Trump's shady dealings, and that thus exposing other shady deals and transactions. Oh, yes. Look at the Deutsche Bank scandal. But again, you definitely need to go and take a look at these files. A lot of the questions that you may have, you can definitely get answers for yourself. Period. This is a treasure trove, guys. An absolute treasure trove. And the way that, a pleasant way to be able to traverse this treasure trove is going to JMail.world. Okay? So check it out when you get a chance. Like a Trojan horse. Shout out to everybody in the chat as well. Long time no see. Good to see you, Gloria. Shout out to you, babe. Dolly, Emmanuel, everybody in the building, right? Everybody that came through to holler at me. I appreciate you all. I'll see you all on my next live stream for sure. And I do plan to continue to discuss and talk about the Epstein files and specific things that I may find or that are found in the Epstein files. Again, cannot sit up here and act like Trump is this innocent man. Like, again, let's see, how many entries was it? Yeah, $5,800 approximately, 5808, just in his email. Just in his email. That doesn't include like all of the overall files. This is just in his email. Imagine if you were the FBI officer that was having to go through each and every one of these and choose what to redact and what not to redact. Could you imagine that? Do you think things get accidentally skipped? Somebody's eyes might get a little tired and things kind of just make their way out there. I do. I do. Man. Crazy times. Crazy times. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. Shout out to all of you on Twitch, on Twitter, X, specifically, Facebookers. Even the YouTubers, the people, the chat, right? Not the actual overall company. Rumble. All right. Because we're streaming everywhere. Get to JMail.world as soon as you can. I'll see you all on the next live stream. Until next time.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart. Like really smart like I am.